This conference will now be recorded.
All right, y'all. This is Chris Thunder Laser. We have Brian Bell, and then Mr. Myers,
Okay, I'm completely
which
confused.
looks like he's frozen.
He's frozen.
he was
That
just
was
waiting for that.
that was on the porpoise.
So how y'all doing today? I see some new faces. If you guys want to introduce yourself, then go ahead. If you have questions, comments, concerns, feel free to ask away. Make sure your mic's not muted.
I'm just
Shannon.
confused.
Hi, I'm Shanna. I'm in Northern California. Not quite as hot here. It's about 70 degrees.
All right, see
Send
ya.
it my way.
Wow, she's in California and it's 15 degrees cooler than it is in Ohio. That's pretty
I,
sad.
I'm about 2 hours outside of Reno, Nevada. So I'm up in the hills.
Yeah, but still, you're still 15 degrees cooler than Ohio. That's something wrong with that.
It was pretty chilly this morning. I was out working on a ditch this morning and I had to have a long sleeve shirt on. It was chilly, but it warmed up nice once the sun came up.
So what laser do you have, or are you looking to buy one?
I have a 35 100 watt Nova,
Okay.
and I'm doing pretty well at it. It's just a hobby. Well, until it's not a hobby. Um, I do have like the high school football coach and stuff has me doing a few things for them here and there for their players and the wrestling coach and stuff like that. But I'm not really pushing it very hard because I'm trying to have the opportunity to learn, and try new things and stuff. So I'm just kind of going slow, but I wanted to check you guys out today to see if maybe somebody talks about something. I went, oh, I didn't know about that, kind of thing. So,
Yep, and if you have any questions you
um,
want addressed, we can try
I
to.
I don't think I've written anything down that I wanted to ask specifically. I did have a few questions, but between the conference yesterday and one a week or so ago, I kind of figured out already those issues.
Okay.
Just little trinket stuff, so nothing major. But
You get
I've
to hear
already,
my loud mouth 2 days in a row.
yeah, well, that'll work. But I absorb stuff from what other people ask too. So I just thought I'd check you guys out and see what's going on.
Cool. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Keep your eye on the road, George. All right, who else do we have that's new here?
He looks like a zombie driving. He's just like dead focused, like he's paying attention like you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm trying. You guys are too much fun. So I'm
Squirrel!
George Sikora, and I live in New Jersey, and right now I'm in Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to be visiting Tommy and Lewis.
You gonna walk in the
Yeah,
back door over there?
of course.
Live?
And I own a Thunder 51100, and I will soon be the owner of another Thunder Laser, hopefully in 4 to 6 weeks.
What'd you get?
Nice.
I got a laser. It should be listed on the website.
Let me go look it up.
A UV? Is that what you did? We can talk about it. That's fine.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it.
Good. Awesome. And I believe
Yep. So I'm excited.
the angry people over there also have one coming too. So
We do
Yes.
too.
very nice.
Nice.
All the Chris's, yeah. I think we're all getting one. Didn't they say this
You need
morning?
one.
I do need
Yeah,
one. It's cool.
it's very cool. I think it's one of my favorites so far, to be honest with you.
The UV?
The UV, yeah. I mean, it's the only bad part about the fiber and the UV is the work area, but there's so many things that it could do. It's just crazy, and the result on glass is just absolutely phenomenal.
That's what I want
Yeah.
to see.
I mean, I do want to get possibly a fiber, because I've already had several people ask me if I could do metal, of course, and I can't really. But I'd like to do guns and stuff. So I'm probably fiber, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really researched it a lot, so I'm not sure. How would a UV benefit over a fiber?
You're not going to get deep engraving on the UV like you would on the
Uh,
fiber for the metal. So if
okay.
you're doing guns, then the fiber is going to be the way to go. Probably the 50 watt, or even, I mean, we're going to start not carrying, but we can order the 100 watt too, which is going to be nice.
Oh, you can. Okay, because I haven't seen any of that on the website yet.
Yeah, we're revamping the website, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out and what's going to be available. But we have a couple that we can special order, so it'll be interesting to see what they end up putting on there.
What time frame? A couple months before we see
Before we see the updated website, I'm thinking probably in a month.
Oh, wow.
That's my guess.
Okay.
We just
All right.
discussed it this morning. They didn't set a timeline, did they, Myers?
Not really.
I was trying to avoid you.
I don't think I
I
was
get
in
that a
that this
lot.
morning. I may have missed that conversation.
Okay.
Will
Was it yesterday?
the 100-watt fiber, will it work with Lightburn, or is it going to be another program?
No, we're kind of pushing for all of them to be laser or EasyCAD 2. You can special order the EasyCAD 3 versions, but yeah, they'll be compatible with Lightburn. The 50, the 100 watt, and they'll be Mopal will be available too in 50 and 100 watt, from my understanding.
I honestly don't know that I need MOPA. I'm not really looking for any color.
No, and it's a cool feature, and it gives you a wider range. Like I said the other day on the sales webinar, but it's not as consistent as you would like.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit longer to get those colors. So it's fun. It's cool to show people, but from a profit standpoint, I don't know how profitable it is.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a dude on one of the groups. He makes some pretty fantastic looking tumblers with a lot of cool colors.
Yeah, he does.
I'm sure it's multiple hours of engrave or laser time.
Yeah, he better be getting a pretty penny, or he's doing it just to show what he can do.
Yep.
Awkward silence. Let's see, who else is new on here?
About the 2mm.
2mm AC. How about Tommy? How are you doing with the with your fiber over there? I know I'm going to make you run to your mic now.
Well, right now, so for Sean, the 50-watt fiber will do guns fine. We don't have any issues. Coins, axes, it's just time for your deep engravings. Today we are playing with sandstone coasters.
So I know we discussed that a couple days ago. How's it coming out? You getting any deep engraving on it, or you're just doing surface?
So we're not looking for a deep engraving just because right now I've got it set to where it's taking off I guess you'd call it the smooth finish on the sublimation coasters that are sandstone. So I'm seeing the stone. I worry about making it too deep for small cups or something to teeter-totter on it potentially. So we're literally just removing enough to get a nice contrast.
Oh, yep, those came out good.
as well as, and it's fairly smooth. So I
Right.
don't have to worry about, I think the original ones we had when we first got married were sublimated. And after 20 years, they're wearing off. So we'll see how these do. Um, but other than that, I mean, we've done coins. We did ink pens this morning. First time we had done steel ink pens. We did one anodized aluminum, one steel on the fiber, and then she put the wood one in the 51-130. So the one thing that we learned this morning was definitely the different lasers that you have definitely expand your business and your potentials.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to the UV. China needs to hurry the hell up and get that thing sent to me. Not that I'm impatient or anything.
No, not at all.
We did those pens because another business couldn't do them because all they have is CO2s. Well,
They're RF tubes. They're
yeah,
epilogues.
they're epilogues, and they couldn't do 2 of the pens, so they just handed them all to us for us to do them.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, the UV is going to open up some more doors for you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
all in all, we're doing great.
Good.
Chris, I do have a question. I found my list. I also have a CNC machine, and on my CNC machine, I'm able to, how do I say it? Like set up different origins on my table. Like, way up here, I always do plaques, and maybe I do something else down here. But I can set origin points, and I have things basically like set up on my table that just stay there. Is there a way to do that within the laser world? I mean, I know we can change our origin as soon as we put something in the bed and, basically set it up. But is there a way to say you want to do business cards and they're set up over here on the side or up the top or whatever, and you just leave it there because all your other projects you have enough room for? Is there a way to tell the machine to go to business card origin or something, or is there a way to do that?
So in
Like
Lightburn,
a
you've got,
saved location?
yep, in Lightburn under the Move tab, you do have save positions. You've got to create them, but you can
Okay.
save positions and send the laser back to those positions and set your origins up and all that stuff.
Okay, so it's in Lightburn. I'll look.
Yep. Yep, just go, you got to bring up the Move tab and you can manage save positions for X and Y. I think Brian
Okay.
uses that, don't you, Brian? No.
I'll check on that then. And if I am ever able to get a fiber or another machine, do I have to purchase a separate version of Lightburn for that machine, or can I run 2 machines on one version?
2 different licenses, or maybe
So
not
it would have to
necessarily
be
license, but you have to purchase that, and we don't offer it currently. I guess just because it's just a smaller piece of our market,
yeah.
and there's a lot of confusion going on with the 2 different licensors. But yeah, you would have to purchase the Galvo license.
Oh, okay. So it's like a complete. So would I literally like close down the program and go back in as another user, or would I be able to utilize my clip art and stuff within the?
No,
the 2?
yeah, it's identical program. You just switch devices. That's it. You just go down to your laser window, you pick your Galvo, and away you go. You can use one or the other. So
Well, that's a
I've
cheap
got.
shot.
Yeah, well, and lots of R&D and reverse engineering went into cracking the code for that. So I'm sure they're trying to cover that.
I'm sure. Okay, so I just didn't want to have to run 2 different versions. Like, say I have all my clip art in one, and it's like, I need this in the other one because I'm doing something different.
No, yeah, you can use the same
going
version.
back and forth, and
it just opens up the ability to talk to that machine.
A different, like an added-on machine.
Right.
So yeah, I'd have to get a second license for that additional machine.
For the Galvo, right?
Yeah. Well,
and you can have as many machines as you want. I've got one license and I have, tons of machines hooked up to it. It's a problem of one's a DSP and the other one is a Galvo license.
Gotcha. Okay.
Different
Good to know.
different technology, little framework on the back end that we never know
Okay.
about, but it happens.
And would I have to reinstall a different version of Lightburn, or just once I get that second license, it works?
It's an add-on. Yeah,
Like an
it's an
add-on.
add-on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's only one version of Lightburn ever.
Yeah.
And you take your key, if you say you have a DSP version already, you can get with Lightburn, and it's cheaper to get an add-on. So you give them your key, and then they unlock that particular
Version.
set of delight. Well, it's one version. All Lightburn is one version, but they unlock some of the extra features that are locked down until you get the add-on for the Galvo. And then once you have that, then your DSP version is DSP, and it will also do Galvo, so you don't have to have two separate ones.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
And I
Sounds
think
good.
I think it is pretty well known that they are. This is out of the laser world, but they are working on a CO or a CNC routing software as well, which will be a separate version of Lightburn. That will be completely different, supposedly.
Well, that would kind of be nice to have everything on one system.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be a little bit different. Obviously, accesses and stuff like that are different, routing tools and bits. But
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
Is the UV going to be considered a Galvo license?
yes, it is. Awkward silence.
I know.
Jim, you got nothing new going on? Uh-oh.
No, I'm still just confused.
Hey, Jim, was that you that friended me on Facebook, or was that another guy?
Probably another guy.
Looks like.
If it's this ugly, it was me. It was me, George. No, Brian just keeps sitting there with this. Now,
Grin.
how do I say it? Shit-eating grin. I'm just going to say it because I got to be myself. On his face, I'm going, what in the hell is going on?
I'm good, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing. Just confused.
I'm just sitting back today, seeing how it goes.
All right, so I got one for everybody.
Go ahead, George.
I had a customer reach out to me and ask me to engrave a live edge slab about 48 inches by roughly 26, 28 inches. He wants a map engraved on it. Now, I did just a rough idea of how long the burn's going to take, because I only want to do it in one pass. I don't really want to go back and do a second. It looks like I'm probably going to be getting a piece of sycamore, and I wanted to get in there a little bit. I'm thinking about a 16th to maybe 3/32, somewhere in that ballpark. And then he's going to give it to somebody else for giving an appropriate application for coloring and then coating it with epoxy. So the only thing I'm responsible for is making sure it's flat when I get it.
I'll see you later.
Lasering it. The runtime is looking to be about 14 to 15 hours in the laser. And that's at 350 LPI, roughly running at about 400 millimeters a second at about 25-ish percent.
Is it a
percent
is it
for power?
Is it a vector of a map, or is it a photo of a map?
Vector.
Okay, a vector. I mean, you can run faster, defocus a little bit so you can run a higher LPI. The LPI is what's killing you.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
run
maybe
a higher
focus out to like
LPI.
7.5.
No, I mean I would even go further than that. 8 to 10 on a 2-inch. Run that LPI up to 200 to 250, and check out the time difference on something like that. Now, just it depends on how deep you want it. Your edges aren't going to be as crisp and clear, but you're going to save a boatload of time. And if you can do that job in half the time, from 400 to 200 LPI, that's huge.
Now, if for some reason, right, because of he's kind of particular, right? So I want to make sure the product for him turns out spot on.
Right.
If I do have to have a 14-hour run, would you guys recommend breaking that up into 2 sections, cleaning out the lens, and then resuming? Or how would you handle that with that long of a run time?
You're going
And
to
are
be
there
creating a
any?
ton of dust if you're going for a 1/16 of an inch on that big a piece of wood.
I mean, I could probably go a little less. He's looking for a nice dark burn.
Yep.
So I like the
And
idea of backing out a little bit, maybe up to like 8 or 9,
yeah,
right?
if you do
For
that,
focus.
you'll definitely get a darker burn that way as well.
Yeah.
So what is it? A street map, a lake map? What type of map we talking here?
It's the map of Middle Earth.
Oh,
He is
nice.
a massive Lord of the Rings fan.
I say, teach me. 'Cause
So if I may throw my 2 cents worth in here,
Assume this
George,
is like a Tommy
Yes,
question.
please.
when you're running it, so if they're gonna pour epoxy over it and fill in your engraves with epoxy, you might want to
terrible.
go a wee bit deeper than the 16th of an inch.
They're
The
gonna
16th inch has a tendency to catch air bubbles, and when you're sanding it to flatten it out, you may burn through something that thin. So look at just a hint deeper and make sure you score everything um, after you've run it or engraved it. It will clean the edges up and give a nice crisp lines on the outsides of your burn marks, for lack of better words.
So you're saying run a outline after, just to outline the items?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, because you can change your LPI and, forgive me and Chris correct me, widen it or increase it so that you have an ugly engrave, but then you can fix an ugly engrave by scoring it, which will then clean those lines up, and now an ugly engrave is pretty
I
real
see what you're
fast.
saying. It's what I do for my noodle boards, right? Is I run a slightly faster, slightly lower LPI, then I outline it. But there are so many tiny details. When I see you on Monday, Tommy, I'll show you the image, and you're going to look at me and tell me I'm nuts for taking on the project.
Oh, I
So
do it.
can you isolate, like, I'm looking at, I just Googled some of this, and there's like text and stuff depending on which one you're doing, where it says like a map of Middle Earth, where you could isolate just that portion of the engrave and test it out as far as getting your depth and your coloring in the scoring feature and your focus, just so that at least you're not doing the entire workpiece, and then when you do the final engrave, you just make that area a T1 layer or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting a scrap piece of wood with it. So I'm
Oh, well,
actually
even
going to be,
better.
I'm going to be
Mm-hmm.
procuring the wood. So
And
more
nothing like
work.
those one shots. Yeah, but that's better
Yeah.
than a 14-hour engrave
It,
that you walk back to, and it's
and that's why I'm hoping that with, having maybe 1 or 2 spare pieces that are decent sized, I can run a real engraving over the piece, right? To give myself a realistic idea. So this way, hey, maybe I spend an hour or so, or even 2 with changing some settings around, but that could save me literally a half a day or more.
how
George, make
wide
sure
did
you
you
have
say it was?
access to that vector file when you come here, and then
48.
remember what wood species it is. We can try it while you're here.
Okay. And what were you
So the other
saying,
thing,
Chris?
how wide is your actual engrave? The wood is 48 inches, but are you going to try to get to 48 inch? of
He
engraving
wants it
width?
to go almost to the edge, yeah. And so I'm
Okay.
thinking with speed up and slow down for the hybrid motors, I'm thinking I can't really go much over like 4 or 450 for
Let me pull it up.
millimeters per second. Might be able to hit 500.
You'd be surprised. So at 1,000, I think you need like 2 inches. So you've got basically 3 inches total. And at 1,000, you need about 4 inches total, 2 on each side. But if you drop that down to 500, you're below an inch.
So if
Because the
I bump
speed,
up from 350 to 500, that's going to save me quite a ton too.
yes, because your traverse time is so long.
Yeah.
All right, so extend space required. You can go up to almost 800 before you get to 1.4 inches on either side. That's assuming you get it perfectly lined up inside of your machine, and that the machine also adds a little bit of buffer too. So you're clear to at least 700 on your Nova
Cool.
if you can line it up. The other thing is when you go to frame this thing, are you familiar with the rubber band frame tool?
I am not, but I
Okay,
would
so that
What is
gives
appreciate
that?
you.
you tell me what that is.
So basically, what it does, you can even make Lightburn draw the rubber band for you, but instead of doing just a square or rectangular frame around what the total XY width and height of your shape is, it basically cuts the corners. So if you took a rubber band and stretched it around your artwork, it's not going to go in every little valley, but it's going to trace the outer part of it and at least give you a better idea of where it plans to cut and engrave. For something this big, you're probably going to do absolute coordinates. You can also use the geolocator pin in Lightburn to basically move it to different points to make sure you're still going to be on the edge of your wood. So a job like this, definitely worth taking that time before you hit the start button just to guarantee that you're not going over any of the edges. So those two tools will greatly help that.
My other thought was get my piece of wood about an inch longer, so then the 48, and then cut it to length and put my round over on after I'm done the engraved. So this way I could mark certain points, with crosshairs. So I always have like an absolute reference point to go back to.
Yeah. So even with the live edge, you're going to cut off, squaring off like 2 sides or something.
Yeah, 2 sides,
Okay.
and then the front and the back, where it's
Cool.
the depth portion instead of the width. The depth portion would be the live edge piece.
Man, you ought to film this and make a YouTube and send us the link.
I'm trying to work on getting 2 more GoPros so I can get some cool angles, and I gotta
Yeah,
get into
just
the machine and disable the safety feature so I can run a little bit
yeah,
with the lid open.
just don't mount the GoPro to your head. That's a bad day.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's been done. It has been done. It's a bad day.
So we got a
It sounds like a
couple
fun
of
project.
other people. Go ahead, Chris.
I
I'll
was
just
just
tell
gonna
him.
say the
Sounds like a fun
GoPro.
project.
Oh, yeah. There's some other new names in here. Theron.
Yeah, just brand new. Just got a new laser and just call in first time to learn.
Nice. What did
Is
you
that
get?
We got a 51 130 Nova.
Go big or go home, huh?
That's right.
How are
I
you
guess the
doing on your
question?
learning
Oh,
process?
sorry.
Sorry.
Come along. We've done several projects so far. It's something really setting up for my son so we can have a little business, and it's been good. It's been interesting trying different materials. Had a customer brought us some granite. Um, that was interesting, because no depth compared to a bunch of the black rocks that we've been doing. Um, and sandstone was a real joke, but just learning. He did some cutting boards that have become very popular.
They are very popular. Jim?
I just wanted to know if I actually said his name right.
Close enough. It's Theron. Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty much good.
Charlize?
Sent me in, no other pictures. It's hard to
Yeah.
tell who everybody else is,
Yeah, everybody's got their cameras off today, which is
but
odd.
everybody's hiding.
And then Mike pops up and Brian goes away. There we go. There's Bob.
Hi guys, I just thought I'd listen in. By way of introduction, I'm just a hobbyist maker. I make all sorts of shit just for fun. Someday I might turn this into a business when I decide that I've had enough of my day job. What else can I tell you? So Nova 24, I would have liked bigger, but I'm space constrained, unfortunately. Love the machine, done all sorts of things with it, had it several months now, and zero issues using it. It's everything just works, which I appreciate.
It is. They are tanks.
Yeah.
And when you go to a bigger machine, and they're pretty much identical. So besides the layout on the 24, the 24 is really the only machine that's laid out just a little bit different because it's so small. But yeah, beast of a machine.
Yeah, I mean, despite its size, I found it pretty versatile. I bought a rotary with it at the same time. So I've just played around with all sorts of things, glass, slate, leather, various woods, a little bit of acrylic. So yeah, as I said, just, whatever comes to mind, I just have a little bit of a play with it.
Yeah, it's fun. I know when I got my first one, it was everything that I can grab from inside the house. I'm sure my wife was very, very happy with me. Where's that going? I'm going to put our
Oh
last
yeah.
name on it.
Yeah, we got new fobs on all the car key rings. My dogs have been tagged. You name it. I expect I've done pretty much what everybody does when they first get one, right?
So George, I've got a question for you. You
Shoot,
still
sir.
listening?
Yes.
How are you pricing that? Because
So,
the way that I figure it, I'm between $100 to $200 per hour on the machine. That's an expensive job.
yep. So I price it. There's three factors in there. So one is the file. So he's giving it to me as a JPEG. It needs to be converted to SVG. So
Wow.
there's a graphic design fee for that. That's part one. Once that's complete, I'll have a final runtime for him to give him an idea of the total project. But I told him that he needs to pay up front for the graphic design work regardless. I said, now, if you don't want me to laser it, yeah, I'll still give you the file, right? Because he paid for the file. So I'm fine with that. And then runtime on the machine. And then the last piece is the wood and procurement of it.
Okay.
So I broke it down into three sections. Runtime's about the same as yours, right? So that's right
Right.
around what I am. It's about 100 an hour for machine time. Plus the procurement piece, and then the graphic part and design piece.
And who are you going to have convert that?
I actually I used somebody from the oh god, what's the name of the group? The one Alicia runs.
Ashley
Uh,
Williams.
yeah,
Alicia
Ashley
Pate.
Williams is.
Yep.
Yeah, Ashley
Ashley.
Williams is pretty badass at that.
And it's amazing. I asked her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can do that." And she gave me a price. I'm like, "Are you sure that's all you want?" Like I even wrote that to her. She's like, oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
It shouldn't take me
she
too
does an
long. I should
excellent
have
job.
it done in a couple days. And her turnaround time is outstanding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Muhammad over in India, but yeah,
Doesn't matter to me. I'm fine.
she does a great job.
Ashley Williams does a phenomenal job. Yes.
Yeah, I used to offer her services through House of Lasers at a slight discount, and I wanted to know exactly who she was, and I never got a good answer. So,
Yeah. Now there is
but
another
she does great.
guy locally who does graphic art and design work, and he's in the process of learning Lightburn. He's a former Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator guru. So he's been coming over to the shop, and he's been asking me a lot of questions about Lightburn, and he said he's probably going to be buying a copy this week to start working on some designs and then bring them and having me laser them to see how they turn out. So he could be a great resource. We'll see what happens.
So, Shanna, I saw you taking some notes as we were talking about pricing.
Oh
You
yeah, I'm just learning. I mean, literally, I think I got my machine maybe 2 months ago and didn't even set it up for a couple weeks. So I'm just starting.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. A lot of people struggle with the pricing aspect of it.
Hmm.
And you really, depending on your demographic, and you being out in California, you're closer to the $200 an hour mark, I'm going to guess. But yeah, anywhere from $100 to $200 an hour. Break down your job minutes plus
Okay.
material, and
Well,
that
and
should get you.
I'm in such a small little town, and I'm 2 hours away from any larger towns. I'm 2 hours away from Reno, and I'm 2 hours away from Redding, and those are the closest towns to me.
Good for you.
So I'm in a beautiful place. It's a beautiful country, but I don't know if we have anybody in town doing any kind of laser work at all, CNC or laser. So
Yeah, and that's
so it,
huge. That's huge being the one person to go to.
yeah, maybe. So if I do it right and start out slow and kind of throw some, I don't know, we got football starting up here pretty soon, and my son coaches at the high school, so I kind of got a little bit of an in. So if I start making stuff for my grandkids and people see it, maybe I can slowly build from there.
And that's what
What
makes us
about
different here is we do everything for this area.
Yeah.
And see we make custom dice. I mean, we do all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, I don't, I mean, I want it to maybe go to a job one day, but right now I just want to have fun with it and play and make a little money on the side. That'd be fine too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I will say that when I first started out, I looked for businesses that were popular on Instagram, and they were kind of startups as well.
Mm.
And I made a couple of small little things that either they can hang or display in their shops.
Mhm.
And then not only did they promote me, but they ended up ordering tumbler orders or other orders
Nice.
for other things. And that's what really got me my jump start was just doing a couple of free things for local businesses that were really popular in that area.
Yeah.
So if you do want to explode it and launch it quickly, that's one of the ways to do it.
Yeah. Okay. I've got to figure it out still. I mean, granted, we only have one big grocery store, and I mean,
Mhm.
it's a very, very small town.
Right.
But definitely something to look into. I mean, I was even thinking, just watching YouTube and other people's ideas and stuff, the like the codes for internet for doctors' offices and just little things like that, kind of just to, I don't know, maybe play with. I mean, I'm learning still too, so I'd be learning a little bit, but we'll get there. I'm retired, so no big rush.
It's easy, especially with the teams. Like my son's wrestling team, we did fundraiser and we sold water bottles and pint glasses and whiskey glasses. So all of that stuff is huge money makers. I mean, the school's making money, or the team
Yep.
is making money, and so are you. So it works out well.
Yeah, that's a good thought too. Trying to keep in with the high school, especially since my son's kind of involved with that coaching. So yeah, we'll see where it goes.
Myers, you got a new machine this week.
I did. I got a Nova 51, which
How's that
required me to
working out?
oh man, I'm having to reinstall like 4 machines all over again because my entire garage got reworked. That's a big old beast.
It
So
is.
it's almost done. I got to do my little plate for the window for exhausting. So I got to recut all those holes because it goes from a 6-inch to an 8-inch now. And then I'll be done shortly. Hopefully run it this weekend.
And you got the unit from Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So she's got some extra little features on there that people will probably get to see maybe by the end of the year. We'll see. Nice little stuff.
And they're talking about August for some. They keep on throwing August out there, so we'll see what happens. I don't know.
August is gonna be here quick. We're only 32 days away.
Man, since you put it like that.
Yeah. I mean, y'all, it's almost July. Tomorrow's the last day of June, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and get your Christmas stuff going. It's time to start rocking.
Oh, Walmart will have that out.
Hobby
Buy
Lobby
your
probably
Christmas
already
tree.
does.
Where did Tommy and Lois go? I had a question for
They
them too.
they dropped
They
out.
might have got blown off the map.
That bad up there, huh?
Oh, it's approaching them. It's getting close.
Man, I need that here so bad. My lake is dry. It is so hot.
Hey, Chris, I got one back for you. So, for the UV, do you
Yeah.
need a special set of protective eyewear because the frequency runs at a different range than the CO2?
You definitely want to keep the lid closed. So on the UV, the door is automatic. So as soon as you hit start, it'll close the door automatically. If it doesn't, you're going to want to do that or have glasses for sure because it will hurt your eyes. You will get welder's eye. It's bright. It is definitely bright. When it's running and I have the door open, I can actually see it reflecting off of my clothes and everything around.
And then one of the things I was looking to do was set up a rotary for it, like a turntable style, which means I will need to disable it and run it with the door open on occasion.
Right. Yeah, and that's something I want to talk to Myers about. I definitely want a chuck attachment for business cards and for the rotary. And Myers is the 3D printing genius over here, so he might be able to make that happen.
We've got one working as well.
You guys
For
can
Is there enough?
Aurora?
Is there enough height room to put a rotary under that on that type of an axis?
Yes. Yeah. With the smaller lens, yes.
My thought was take something like a Pyburn grip, remove the rest of the frame so it's just the grip piece, and then attach
No,
a rotary platter to it.
I would probably go with the chuck on that and then touch the platter to it. I don't know how large. Chris, you messed around with the Pyburn a little bit, right? On that. on their grip.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Got it.
Maybe not.
I understand now. But yes. So the chuck is really low. The only issue that we're going to have with our chuck is the motor, right? So we would have to build it slightly above. You guys can see that, right?
A little bit.
There you go. So whatever happens, it's going to have to get built up just maybe about an inch higher than the motor, and then you can have a nice platform to build off of.
Be really cool if somebody would 3D print a plate for that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Myers, Tommy, you're muted. Tom, you're muted. There you go.
Yeah, I'm figuring out the computer again. You know, it's a Mac thing. We already have the platter and the inserts and whatnot that we've been working on. I just got a little overwhelmed with customer orders, so we haven't been able to finalize it and finish it up.
Good. I'm glad you're working on that, and I'm glad that you have customer orders that are keeping you busy.
Yeah. I wish I didn't sometimes. Because what we've done is pretty much it relies on a shaft or a bolt or something, which is what's going to raise it above the motor.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. It's going to be a tight fit, but I think it'll work.
Well, so far on the fiber, my only concern with the UV is the T-tracks. And because the UV is going to have T-tracks, not the holes to almost permanently secure it. So it'll be a little bit interesting to figure out that dynamic. But right now we're playing with sizes, because I think we've tried like 8-inch, 10 inches about as max as it can get. But again, I haven't had the time to try to finalize that. Then again, I haven't had the time to do any videos or really play with the rotary.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see, because we really do need something like that, because that puts the ability to work on some other stuff in there.
We've got designs for coin holders, pins, the business cards. There's a whole bunch of inserts to go into it.
Hey, Chris, one of the things that I found online, and I saw that on the UV that has it's G2 for the style, has those 2 removable side panels.
Correct.
Basically, I've seen models out there that look similar, where they have almost like a little production feed that goes in, stops, get the laser mirrors, then it rolls out the other side. That would make an awesome attachment. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Some type of a roller or a flatbed roller.
It's just a little motorized feed. So it's a little conveyor belt.
Hey, Chris, we're going to have to talk about that, because this will come off the base, and that'll give you another 1.5 inches of clearance.
How much clearance is there total in the fiber unit for larger items?
It really depends on the lens. Yeah, let me, I'll look that up and see if I can find it real quick for you.
Oh, no, it just, if you know, I can look it up. No worries.
It's all right. We got a little bit of silence here and there, so.
True.
Brian, you've been quiet, Brian. Your mic is actually muted. What have you got? What's new on your agenda? How you been?
He's probably answering tickets.
He is.
Maybe.
He's always busy. He refuses.
Yeah, he turned it back off.
There's no money involved in this. You can talk.
Okay. Hi. No, I've just been preoccupied. And I figured if you were running the show, I didn't want to step on any toes, so I was just going to sit back and shut
No,
up.
step on the toes. It's good.
I like the conveyor belt idea.
Yeah.
I do too, and there's a bunch of companies that have it. So for the f160 lens, you have about 7.9 inches. The f210, 5.7, and the 290 is 1.2.
So pretty tight.
So 8-inch distance. That's pretty good. I mean that's a good distance away from the material, and we have a lot of play with the movement of the scan head, so that's good. Like
Now
I said,
will.
you're gonna go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, it's just going to depend on the working area. So the working area on that is rather small. It's about 4.3 inches.
Yeah.
But if you're doing business cards and you're rotating them every one, then it's okay. That works.
True. And does the base unit itself come out in case you do need more depth
The base
of
unit.
the actual table? Does it remove by chance
No.
to create
Mm-mm.
deeper? Okay.
No, it doesn't. And really, I haven't run into even running glass cups and stuff like that. I haven't run into a time that I needed it.
Oh, okay.
I do know that some of the fiber lasers that are not enclosed will have extensions so you can get further away, because people are taking trays like sterilization trays for doctors' offices and stuff like that. They'll take that
Okay.
and stand them upright where you're 1.5 feet tall, and
Wow,
you have
yeah.
to engrave what that tray is for on the top. So they'll use it for something like that.
Sure.
But that's a very, very specific need. Your mic's still on. Did you,
Chris, if I
Tommy and Lois, did you get a confirmation of timeline for yours?
When I asked, Grant gave us 30 to 45 days is the window, but he wasn't dead set sure. So, we're as patient as we can be,
Right.
but, we're also trying to, I don't know, squeeze 20 pounds of crap in a 5-pound sack when it comes to her workshop.
Right.
Well, we're trying to, we think we know where the UV is going to go, and then we're looking at when the next one is available and placing that order. Where is it going to live? Because that's going to be a travel unit for us.
Right.
And that's specifically what it's being purchased for, is to take to the shows with us.
is that the UV or the little guy, Tommy?
Little guy.
The little one.
Tommy, you seen my garage, right? I just
Yeah.
tossed a Nova 50. Yeah, I put a Nova 51 in there and a secondary fiber. My 3 resin printers were in there. So you just got to learn, man. You got to stack it in there. Got to stack it in vertical.
It's Jenga, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Did those customers, are they getting that 51 from you? Or
Yeah, I believe so. I believe
Good.
Yep. Yeah, I'm
Good.
just waiting to receive it, and then it'll get all fixed up and on the way. So I'm getting another Nova 51. So
Yeah, but
Well,
that'll spin right out though. That'll go right
Yep.
back out the door. Yeah.
Yep.
Get me somebody else to do a demo, and it seems like half of the ones that get demoed, you get a text message asking if it's available through
Heck
you.
yeah. Heck yeah, get them.
I'll
If they're
help
close
clear out
enough,
the
I'm willing to
space.
drive, please. But
Speaking of size
yeah,
of units, I wanted to ask CeeLo on that
Yo,
G2 shell. So the UV and the fiber would be the exact same shell on the G2, correct? For the design?
yes. Yeah, the V2, yeah, the version 2 is definitely this. The Galvo and the UV will be the same. It is definitely a little bit different in size-wise than the V1.
And the front to back measurement is 27.5. Is that from outside edge of the unit to outside edge of the unit, front to back?
I just did that for Tommy yesterday. What was it, Tom?
Give me a second. I'm pulling it up.
I guess
And then the follow-up question to that is, how far apart are the foot pads? Because usually the foot pads reside in a
Hey,
little bit from the unit.
hold your britches on,
You,
George. I got that too.
I was gonna say, I was like, I feel like deja vu. I just answered this.
Yeah, okay. So feet to feet is 14.5 by 25. Overall is 17 by 28 ish.
You like my ish?
I liked your ish. My engineer doesn't like your ish, but I like the ish.
What was that foot pad again?
14 and a
Foot
half.
By
25.
so a 25-inch work surface, you're covered. All right, and that just dictated what I'm gonna buy to put it on, because I've been eyeing up a second toolbox for the shop at the same time. Kill two birds, one
So
stone.
they'll also fit on a single kitchen cabinet with a hint of an oversized top to it.
Copy that.
You'll see it all on Monday, man.
Yes, I will.
yeah, I was looking at those Husky boxes too, but again, I don't know if this kind of low. I want height. So I might have to put mine on some blocks or something on top of the
Nah,
Husky.
they make a Husky cabinet. It is 25 inches in depth. It is 52 inches long, I believe. And the
The
height
adjustable height
is,
one.
no, it's 38 inches tall, and it's got 15 drawers in it.
Okay, that ain't bad. But I like
And
mine
there,
like probably 40 inches at the base. I like it up there.
so then you're gonna have to not only get the adjustable height, but you're gonna want to really make sure you put a little something on the backside, so this way it
Yeah,
catches the full foot, because it's exactly 24.
yeah. They've got those adjustable height tables, which I thought was a good idea, but their weight ratings, because of whatever actuator they got in there, or whatever, just can't quite get it up. So I kind of pass on those. I want to
They
be
go
able to
up to
put
about
3
300
machines on it.
pounds. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. You seen the weight on one of these suckers?
They
They're
make
not.
the same
They're
thing in a non-adjustable height with the fixed.
Yeah.
Well, the legs have the
they're
wing
awkward to
nuts that you
carry
pull on
too.
and
I
off.
mean, it's super difficult. And the new one with the rounded corners is even more difficult to move around. But it is sleek looking for sure.
We'll see like some eye hooks on the side that you can put some straps to or something and lift it up with a cherry picker and roll that sucker around.
That would be nice. I do want that 100-watt MOPA source. That's pretty sweet that we're going to be offering that. And that's something to be said about Thunder in general. I mean, we listen to the desires of the customers and we try to implement.
Until it comes
Right,
to
Jim?
dealing
Dealing with what?
a Mac.
That's just Myers. Myers is the pain with the Macs.
Yeah.
No, that frustrated me with the Galvo, that the EasyCAD settings wouldn't import, and I had to go through the manual setup for those damn lenses.
Yeah.
And I still haven't done the 200 yet because I've been too busy and too lazy.
50-50 on that?
Yeah, pretty much.